Of course, I forgot to hit the audio, man. Oh, it's like the second time I've done that. My bad, guys. Can you hear me now? He's saying, let's go, Brandon. Oh, all right. Everything I just said, that took like 3 minutes. Oh, it was good too, man. Anyway, really support. Okay, you can hear me now, it looks like. God, I hate doing that because I have my second monitor that I'm looking at right here, and I have to like uncheck it. I swear I unchecked it before I went live, but I guess I didn't. But again, guys, smash that like, subscribe if you aren't subscribed. Really appreciate all the support from you guys. Like I said when I was on mute, I started this at like the end of July. I'm chugging along to 1,000 subscribers and 1,000 followers on Twitter. I couldn't do it without all your guys' support. Really appreciate it. I do this all for fun. It's my passion. This is all I do every day, pretty much. Got family and crypto. It's pretty much it. And travel and do whatever. But really appreciate it. Should be a good stream tonight, guys. I tried to not, I kind of structured a little bit. I got some notes that I want to go through, but I want to talk about NFTs, some projects I'm in, crypto mining a little bit, and then we'll get into a little bit of TA. But I don't want to go more than an hour. I don't want to go more than like, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. So cut me off. Unless the stream gets really good and you guys are pretty interactive, who knows what happens. But we'll try to stick it to 1 hour. But like I said, market's not doing too great right now, but I'm not worried at all. I think once we get into the TA with 6FIG here, and from what I've been doing research, I think 54K is the retest, the low for Bitcoin, what we're looking at. I don't know what we're at right now, but I'm not worried. Voyager Token's been holding my portfolio together the last couple days. Oh, man, I'll talk about that a little bit more in depth once we get there. But yeah, I'm going to jump into the market overview real quick. Let me maximize it. Let me refresh. So yeah, market's down 5.29% the last 24 hours. We got Bitcoin 56,604 down about 6%. ETH's down about 6.5%, sitting about 4,000. We got Solana's down 10%. $196, and we got Cardano, man. It's just not doing anything. It's one of my favorite coins, but it's pretty stagnant. But usually that's kind of a sign that, hey, if no one's talking about it, I think it might be a good time to buy. Not financial advice. That's at $1.78. Gainers. So top gainers. So if you guys haven't noticed, a lot of the gaming metaverse tokens are just crushing it right now. So if you guys are into those, you're doing pretty well. If you have a pretty good bag of those. Decentraland's up 25% and keeps going up. $4.22. Jasmy's up 19%. Sandbox, I got into that a couple days ago. I'm already up. What is it? Up 15.74%. $4.24. Engine Coin, yeah. So top four, just pretty sure all gaming. I don't know what the Jasmy. I think Jasmy's a metaverse gaming coin. But yeah, losers. We have this Gien. What's up with this Gien? Was this like a rug pull? I've been hearing a lot of things about this, but I literally haven't looked into it. Down 63%, sitting a little over a penny. Power Ledger is down 25%, 49 cents. Ethereum name service, it's the first I've ever heard of that, down 18%. It's at about $40.83. All right, jumping into what holidays are today, even though we're coming up towards the end of the day. Today is November 18th. Obviously, it's Great American Smokeout. So if you smoke, try to give it up for the next 24 hours. Mickey Mouse Day, Mickey Mouse's birthday, National Princess Day, Apple Cider Day, Married to a Scorpio Support Day, Minnie Mouse's birthday, National Rural Health Day, National, I can't even pronounce that, Vichosisi Day, Use Less Stuff Day, Pancreatic Cancer Day, and World Philosophy Day. So that's what you guys have for your November 18th holidays. Crypto bubbles. Everything's red. I'm not going to really go through this, but again, gaming tokens and coins are up. Let's go to my favorites. Everything's red except the Decentraland. Starmax is down. Helium's down. Cardano. Voyager. I don't know about that. 6.9%. What are we sitting at? 388. I'll still take that. CKB's down 7.2%. Sitting about 0.023. So that's for your crypto bubbles. Fear and Greed Index for Bitcoin. Love this. Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. Right now, we totally jumped down 20 points from yesterday. We were at a neutral of 54, where now we're currently at a 34 fear. So I don't know if you guys have any cash set on the sideline or any USDC, not financial advice. Probably a pretty good day to be buying up some of your favorite tokens before the next leg up, in my opinion. I like looking at this. This is kind of like the chart, 1 year chart. So yeah, we've been, doing pretty well since, 7 October all the way till just recently, the 16th. And now we're down to 34. So hopefully this is the nice little pullback that we had before our next leg up. I know Plan B still has us at about $98,000, I think, Bitcoin by the end of the month. So just keep that in mind. Bitcoin dominance still trading sideways a little bit, 43.42. Crypto total market cap, we're at about 2.458 trillion. Like I said, we have a good pullback right now, but you can look in the past. We've had some pretty decent pullbacks before we go up. So like I said, guys, I'm not worried. And again, this is TradingView. It says 2.45 trillion, but whenever I go to CoinGecko, it always has a little bit higher market cap. So 2.6 trillion right there. So there it is for your market overview. Let's just check over in the comments, see how you guys are doing tonight. Really appreciate it. Again, smash that thumbs up if you guys are here. Subscribe if you aren't subscribed. And put on post bell notifications. Let me just scroll up. Let's see. What's up, Marcos? What's up, Kaneda? I don't know how to say that. Strika, what's up, man? We got, who else we got here? Feel Good Green. What's going on? All right. So before we begin, I'm going to bring in our special guests of the night. First person we have is the one and only 6FIGSTOCKTRADER, bro. How's it going?
It's going great, man. I'm glad to be here. Thanks again for once having me on your show. I enjoyed that intro of silence that you put on for everybody. I was trying to call you. I was blowing you up in text messages.
Yeah, I got my phone.
The thing's muted. It happens, though.
Oh
it was funny. It was funny. But
it was good too. I always do that. I gotta double check that before I go live moving forward. But yeah, glad you could come here.
I've done that though, where I'll go and record a video, and then I will go to edit it, and then it's like, damn, the mic was on mute. Oh, it gets frustrating sometimes. So
I
don't know, but
yeah, glad to have you here.
Yeah, thanks, man. Same.
All right, next we got Crypto TA. What's going on, brother?
What is up? I made it.
Yeah, you made it. I didn't think you were going to make it. I know you said you had some things going on and you're on the West Coast. So what is it, 6:43 p.m. there?
Yeah, it's 6:43. I got out of work on time, so that worked out.
Nice. Yeah, it's always tough for you West Coasters because we either got a lot of Eastern and Central people. So it's like, when do you go live? Like, what's the sweet spot? And usually we find, at least on the VGX Heroes, when we did the Twitter Spaces AMA, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard seems to be like the sweet spot because it's like Central Time. It's 8 p.m. So it's like if you do have kids or little ones, they're pretty much, hopefully they're in bed by about 8 o'clock. But then,
right.
So Central Time's the sweet spot.
Yeah,
we're getting some audio feedback. I don't know if there's something going on there.
I got my second tab pulled up, but I got it muted.
Testing.
I don't hear anything.
Testing. I'm getting some feedback.
Do you guys hear any feedback? Can you guys tell who it is?
Comments there.
Yeah, just leave a comment. I think it sounds fine to me. I keep hearing Discord. Maybe that's what you guys hear. I closed out my windows. The little the notification.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, all right, so let's begin, guys. Should be a good stream. I want to go over a little bit of Starmax news, some technical analysis. I got some NFT projects I'm looking in, VGX news, some technical analysis with VGX. It's been pumping with CoinBase announcement. The Constitution DAO, if you guys heard of that NFT project, and Soul Sotheby's I'll get into that later. And then some mining with SC coin, Sia coin. Talk about that real briefly, and then do some CKB Bitcoin technical analysis. So that's kind of the agenda for the stream today. But yeah, let's jump right into STMX. So I just want to talk a little bit about STMX right now. Obviously the whole market's down. STMX is down about 15.6%. We're sitting about just under 3 cents. Total market caps 264 million. Trading volumes about 16.8 million. So again, guys, this is, if you're not familiar with STMX, it's a cashback rewards utility app. Where basically they have, thousands of different stores all across the world where you download the app, you shop your normal shops wherever, and you'll get cashback rewards. And you can also stake on their platform up to 10%. So that's pretty big for that. And jumping into like some of the news that they had today, that a big partnership announcement. So they announced that CJ McCollum of the Portland Trailblazers came on board as a partner for them. So he did a little announcement here. Big basketball player. I'm not a big basketball fan, but just because of the association and whatnot, I did a little research. I put together a video, if you guys haven't checked it out, about this. I'm not going to go into the history, but he was born in 91. He was, I think he was drafted in 2015, 2016, but he didn't start for the first year or two. So he did, though. I guess he went to high school at Glen Oak High School in Canton, Ohio. So that's kind of cool because I'm from Ohio. I'm like nearby Canton, the Akron area. So it's kind of cool to have a fellow Ohioan on board with STMX. And apparently he is into crypto too. So that's another thing I like. Some of these companies like FTX, they sponsor these people. What is it? Matt Damon. Did you guys hear about that commercial? Was it the FTX commercial with Matt Damon? They just paid him a bunch of money. I don't think Matt Damon's even in crypto, but just because of the name, they paid all that money to like get him in there. But at least this guy, CJ McCollum, he legit, I guess, isn't a crypto. He wants to, help spread awareness and whatnot. So I think it was a good pick for them. And then there's a little article about him. He's got a lot of followers. Twitter, he's got 568,000 followers. He put his video there. He also has a podcast, the Pull Up Podcast, which is kind of interesting. He's got 1.4 million followers on Instagram. He did his video there. So it's just bringing exposure to the STMX platform. So I think this is a pretty good move. I think this is the first partnership that STMX has. So it's really good to see that. And then also, apparently this guy's he's in the wine. He bought a 300-acre vineyard in Oregon, Crypto TA. I don't know if you heard about any of this. I haven't heard of 91 somewhere in Oregon. He owns this vineyard. I don't know if he owns the vineyard, if he just owns like the branding to like the wine. But I thought that was pretty cool. So he seems to be an entrepreneur. He's into crypto. He's into, a whole bunch of things. I think this will bring a lot of awareness to the STMX platform.
It'd be cool to get him on a show or something once.
Yeah. For you basketball fans out there, is this guy, I'm assuming is he pretty good? Like, how does he rank compared to other basketball players? I'm just curious. Let me know in the comments. Website, like pretty legit.
This dude's got some channels for sure.
Yeah, so he's probably got connections and everything. So it's a great move by Simon, the CEO of STMX, to bring this guy on board. So look for more of this and a lot of other marketing, I think, in the near future. Again, they have the debit card coming out very soon, from what I hear. They have some commercials. I think they're coming out. They did an AMA earlier this month, their monthly AMA I listened to. So big things coming for STMX. The debit card is going to be a game changer. Let's jump into some TA if you don't mind. But that's just some news in STMX I wanted to bring up before we jumped into the TA.
Yeah, definitely. I'll get my screen shared here.
Strika, what's up, man? Partner with Trailblazers. Yep. Yeah, they got a 5-year deal with them. So it's long term. VGX Hero, Kaneda said good player and entrepreneur.
Strika, the heavy hitters in the house.
Oh, nice. Was STMX teamed up with a basketball team? Yeah, the Portland Trailblazers. Who else do we got in here? Cool. All right. So let's do some Starmax TA.
Yeah. So I thought I would pull up this coin that you had mentioned earlier when you were kind of going over some of the winners and losers of the day. And GYEN coin has a classic, just a classic Head and Shoulders. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this as far as TA goes. Clean neckline and a break. So I don't know how legit this thing is, but this thing made people a lot of money when it pumped from about 0.008 up to 6 cents. So it's 6x in a day. And now it's back down to where it started. So, oh man. But yeah, let's get on to Starmax here. I like Starmax just like you do. It's a great company in my own opinion. I've been kind of covering Starmax on my channel as well. And oh man, this doesn't look good. But so we've been seeing this symmetrical triangle squeeze, and I've been hoping that Starmax gets a nice little breeze of wind into its sails to take it up through this Ichimoku cloud on the daily chart. This was going to be a great opportunity for price action to pass on top of the cloud and really possibly set up an ascending triangle or something of that nature. So it's kind of looking iffy right now. I know the market's kind of been wonky the last couple of days. Starmax was trading really well until Bitcoin kind of took a dump. And we can see that we have some huge indecision amongst traders on Starmax. So depending on how low this candle goes or the next few candles go, this little symmetrical triangle might just get extended out a little bit, or this will just signal one big corrective wave, in my opinion. So it is what it is at this point in time. But if we do go to the downside, I think it would be safe to say, we may see, I would say somewhere probably right around this 0.022 level. Things get really nasty, possibly down towards this 0.0129, 0.015-ish level. So it just really depends. I could see this even heading down to the 786. Yeah. So it's definitely in a compromised position on the daily chart with this full-bodied bearish engulfing candle right now. I don't know if you had any thoughts on this too, Crypto TA, that you wanted to add. If you're seeing anything else different, or
I think you're covering it pretty good. I think it's still got some support left above the last pivot of like 1 cent. Somewhere right around that 78.6% in that 2 cent level would be like a good support level if this thing continues to drop.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. We can kind of see this at maybe this level here at 0.027, and then if that falls, definitely the 0.022 level. We can see that it acted as support here and resistance several times, support here. So yeah, I mean, I like Starmax. I hate to see it trading like this, but
yeah,
I think hopefully it reverses.
Yeah, I think it's just another one of those companies that there's not a lot of people are really talking about. It's just because, I'm on the Voyager app and they kind of have a good partnership between the two. And I've just been exposed to it in the community, the VGX heroes and Starmax, and we all kind of like talk and whatnot. So I don't know. I have a lot of patience with this. I think this is going to do really well. I think the debit card's going to push us up. That could be a surprise here any day. Yeah, and they're going to, who knows what their marketing is going to be. I know they got the commercial, like I said, coming out with some big names and whatnot. So I don't know if that's going to be played. I don't know how they're going to market it and whatnot, but I don't know. We'll see.
I'm signed up for that debit card.
Yeah, me too. Because I think the virtual one comes out, so you'll be able to, as long as like any place accepts Apple Pay, Android Pay, and whatever Google Pay, you should start being able to use it, especially they want to get it out before the holidays and whatnot. So
how does that work? Are you using Starmax to buy things, or is it? I don't get that.
That's a good question. Do you know that, Crypto
I think, man, I don't want to say the wrong thing, and I'm still not 100%. I believe.
Maybe it transfers to cash for you.
I thought, yeah, like you deposit like your USD. However, normally, like you usually just deposit, and then like when you buy, you get the cash back in Starmax. But then I've heard otherwise. I thought like it is Starmax. I don't know. Someone who's listening, correct me. I don't want to say the wrong thing. Yeah, let's jump over to one of the NFT projects that I actually invested in a couple days ago.
Is this that women's with weapons thing that you were telling me about?
Yeah.
I'm interested in seeing this, dude.
Yeah, so this is called Women in Weapons, and it's been around for a little while. Let me just see the activity.
Just a quick thing about the card. I looked it up. It says we only convert your crypto to fiat at time of purchase. So you have Starmax, and then it converts it to fiat when you purchase something on the debit card. That's what it sounds like.
Okay.
Anyways.
Swifty said, are you talking about their future debit card? Yeah, the future debit card. Yep. But yeah, this is called Women in Weapons. There's about 10,000 NFTs that they have, 4.9 thousand owners. The floor price is 0.19, 1.6 thousand traded. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so they started. So it's a fairly new project, October 22nd, 2021. And the reason I heard of this project was Gary Vaynerchuk. If you guys aren't familiar with him, been following him for years. Digital Jeff, shout out in the comments. I know you've met him. You follow him and whatnot, but he's a serial entrepreneur and whatnot, and owns a bunch of businesses. But this past year, since NFTs and crypto blew up, he's been heavily invested into the NFT space and whatnot. But he started a new thing called, let me see, DNA, I want to say. And I don't know if it's a weekly thing or a monthly thing, but they feature like new NFT projects or just some small NFT project. And then he just interviews the creators and whatnot. So the other day he ended up interviewing the creator, and this is a husband and wife duo. And the wife, I believe, used to be an occupational therapist, quit her job for her love of artwork, and just started to pursue this Women in Weapons NFT project, which is pretty cool. So yeah, she was on talking to Gary V, and I was listening. That was like late at night. I don't know. It was like 10:30 or something like that. And I was just like, oh man, I got to check this project out. And then she started to talk about, or Gary's like, well, what are the rare things that, like, what is the rarest items? So then instantly I was searching through OpenSea to see like what the rare, items or objects or whatever each of these NFTs were. And I was actually able to snag up two of them. One was like ranked 640 of 10,000. The other one was like 1,500 or something like that. But I believe they're hand drawn, the majority of them, but then they kind of like overlay some of the qualities on top of each other. But it's getting a lot of hype within the last 2 days, as you guys can see. If you look at the activity, if I go back to the last 7 days, like when they did the announcement on the Twitter Spaces with Gary V on November 16th, they had 1,583 sales. And what was it, 326 Ethereum is the volume, I think that is. That's insane. And then the next day, they had 596 sales, or 156 ETH for this project alone. And then the data hasn't updated yet, but for today, obviously. But I believe yesterday or earlier this morning, he like retweeted the project, and like I've been following their Discord and whatnot. But it's a pretty good Discord. The community is awesome. It's real laid back and chill. But I think this is just one of the NFT projects. I think it has some potential. I know there's a lot of stuff coming out for this project, but it's just something I wanted to bring to get your guys' attention. If you guys aren't familiar, if you're into NFTs, it's a pretty decent floor price right now, 0.19. So it's not that much, especially since ETH is down right now. So not financial advice. If you guys are into NFTs, you might want to snag one of these up.
That's an attractive price. It reminds me of the Badass. This reminds me of the Badass Bulls NFT project. Low entry. And I remember when you put me on that Badass Bulls, I waited a week and then it like 5x'd the floor price, and it was just like crazy. But for those of you guys that are wondering about the 1,600 ETH that's been traded on this platform, that's about $6 million worth of sales. So that's nothing to scoff at. That's pretty good.
Yeah. It's insane that the power of like an influential person like that can like push to a small content creator. Like, you know what I mean?
Life-changing.
Yeah. So like the website's pretty cool, but like here's the whole story. Like, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. Like, you guys can check it out, womeninweapons.io. They've got a pretty good roadmap, a lot of stuff coming. Husband and wife duo, Sarah Bauman, Jack Bauman. They got some people on their team, and I know they're looking for help in the Discord for moderators and whatnot. But yeah, I thought this was a pretty cool project. I snagged 2 of them. This is one of them. They said the golden halo is super rare, which apparently it was. So I picked up this one. I believe this is like 1,500 out of 10,000. And then this is the rarest one. It was like 660. Something with the bloody bandages. This is like a super rare in the background out of all of them. So those are the 2 I picked up. I'm just holding on to them. I didn't pay the floor price for them, obviously, but I was on Rarity Tools and I was looking up during that like interview. Because if you guys go to Rarity Tools, you can pick up the project or pull up the project and it'll sort from lowest to highest. And I just looked for like either what was the lowest rare, like the rarest one or whatever, or what they were talking about. So like, I believe this is the one they were talking about. And then Rarity, when I had Rarity Tools, this was one of the other ones that was like pretty low for the price that someone already had it at. So
I like that.
But it's kind of cool.
It is.
What about you, Crypto TA? You in NFTs? I don't think I've ever talked to you about that.
No, I'm not really into it.
I tell you what, dude. Once you get into it and you buy an NFT and it 5x's in a week, it's like sell all my crypto for NFTs.
I'm skeptical, like meme coins.
It's crazy. Like I was the same way earlier this year with NFTs. When the NFT boom happened earlier this year, when the market took off, I just was like, oh, it's stupid. I'm not going to get into it. Yeah. And then we dipped down in the middle of the summer, and then like I was like, man, I got to look into these NFT things. So I spent like a week, 2 weeks, do your own research, just started diving into it, and it gets addicting, like literally. And I owned a Lazy Lion, pretty popular one. I bought the Lazy Lion at like $200 in Ethereum. I sold it for like 2,000, and then I don't know what they are now, but I think at the peak, if I would have held on to it for like a week or 2 after I sold it, it was like worth like $5-6 grand. But
wow, that's crazy.
It's a crazy space. It's a different thing. It's completely different to crypto. Like, and that's another debatable concept that you can talk about is if we do go into a bear market, how's the NFT space going to look?
Yeah.
The NFT space might boom because if everything's down, it's not going to cost as much unless you just jack the price up. So you can look at it 2 different perspectives.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. My viewpoint is it's going to, this kind of stuff, no offense to anyone, but it's going to be like a short-term market where NFTs will end up taking care of a lot of, like of your own personal data, like your driver's license and stuff like that. I don't know. I think there's more of a use for it in that case than just artwork.
Oh yeah, sure. There's
for sure.
You can use NFTs for completely different. It's not just artwork. That's the thing with NFTs.
Yeah.
You can use there's so many different use cases.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. That and just like music and like video content and all that, that
tickets to your concert.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you just mentioned like tickets to your concert, Crypto Airborne. There's a lot of scammers out there scamming for tickets. And if you can securely transfer a barcode from one person to the next. Like, I tell you what, somebody that builds that system on Nervous Network or something with their low gas fees, like the ticket master of crypto is going to be huge.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
All right, we get off on a tangent, but again, guys,
Yeah.
check this out. Women in Weapons. If you guys are new in it, NFTs and whatnot, highly suggest checking them out. Good community. Probably is going to have a bright future. But that's the other thing. I think even just in general in cryptocurrency and NFTs, the success of a project or coin, I 100% agree, is with the community. You got a strong community backing it. I think your coin or your NFT project's going to succeed, even through a bear market. It just all depends on how strong that community is. But yeah, let's just jump into Voyager Token. So, man, Voyager Token has been absolutely insane with the announcement of the CoinBase Pro listing. And then I think around 6 o'clock, they did the regular CoinBase listing. And we've seen so much validity going on right now. Refreshing it, we're at we're at $3.96. Our 24-hour trading volume is insane, $84 million.
Wow.
Crazy. Like, this is like insane.
And to give everybody an idea of their average trading volume, I think it was around, 28 million a day?
Yeah, it was super low, even less than that a couple weeks ago.
24 mil, maybe.
Yeah. But before we get into the technical analysis, I just want to cover real quick some of the news that's been going on this past week. I do know they had the earnings report. I did a whole live stream actually at 8 a.m. earlier this week on it. You guys can check it out. I put every single timestamp, every single question highlight. And Stone Cold Steve Austin, VGX Hero, gave me a plug on Twitter. He's like, do your own research means nothing when you get Crypto Airborne doing it for you. So, I mean, I just love doing this for you guys. I like to make stuff easy. Like I said, I'm just doing it because I like to do it. But go check the earnings call out if you guys are interested in that video. But again, the news this week, actually, this was earlier this morning. They are partnering with, not really partnering with, but they did like a $15 million seed funding for Particle. So Particle is powered by the Avalanche blockchain, which is a recent partnership that they had. And it is building a platform that enables anyone to own some of the world's greatest masterpieces by collectively participating in the art market. And some of the founders are some big name dudes. You got, I can't even pronounce that guy's name. He's the former chairman of Christie's, post-war and contemporary art, which Christie's is huge. You got Shingo Levine. He's huge. The former ETH co-founder. And Adam Levine, co-founders of Ethos. Yeah, Philip Eaton, co-founder, chairman of Voyager. You got Oscar Salazar, the CTO and chief architect of Uber and an advisor to Voyager. So you got some big name people with this partnership. But essentially this Particle, what it is, it's a venture into the NFT market. They plan to deliver unique access to NFTs and more to customer base as part of their product roadmap, all the goal of providing a wide range of NFTs to the 2.7 million users they have. So here's another thing. If you're a Voyager loyalty program member, you're going to have first access to this purchase, which I thought was pretty cool. So actually, if you're a VLP member, you're going to have access to this. So basically what Particle is, it divides each piece of art into 10,000 unique NFTs or particles, each with its own title deed stored on the blockchain. So once you buy Particle, they receive a digital certificate, collector's card representing its own specific ownership in the artwork.
Wow. Now that sounds like something that could take off. Let's just say, for example, Banksy drops an NFT. It gets divided into 10,000 shares, what have you. My goodness, that thing is going to fly to prices we have never seen before in art. I can guarantee you, one of my kidneys, that will happen.
This is huge. But again, so this is Shingo Levine, one of the founders of it, and he did a bunch of feeds. But I don't want to read through the whole thing. I'm gonna try to generalize this real quick. So essentially, what this is, say Particle goes and buys a piece of Van Gogh original artwork or some type of physical artwork. They will take that artwork and they will secure it. They'll find a place where it is safe and secure physically. Now, what they're going to do is they're going to take this artwork. So say this picture right here is what the art is. They're going to divide this. Each one of these little cells and each one of these blocks is what you as a person, say there's 10,000 of these, you can buy this and be a part of that physical art. That makes sense. So what he says is that owning and collecting art has historically been a privilege of the select few who have shaped the course of art history and the art market. This system excludes people who aren't part of the in-group. Blockchain and NFTs for a paradigm shift where anyone can participate. Tech advances create a paradigm shift. Today, the NFTs, Web3 are starting to see the potential for these disruptive technologies to change the status quo. We want to create best collection of trophy masterpieces from the fine art world and put them in the hands of this community. We also believe in the preservation and protection of humanity's greatest works. Where others have destroyed the physical piece to make way for the digital, we believe in digitization without destruction. By particularizing works, we enhance them. To do this, we've created the Particle Foundation, nonprofit institution which will physically hold the works so that they can continue to be enjoyed in the future. People can participate in owning these masterpieces through particles, unique NFTs. They think that this can spark a community art revolution. Crypto's shown power communities working together, like I said before. Starts first with the collectible particle, or collect particle has acquired, but it's ultimately owned by the community. So what do you guys think of that, if that made sense? It's kind of like they buy original art, they safely and securely store it somewhere, they turn it into an NFT, into particles, 10,000 of whatever amount they want. You can buy and own that on the blockchain, say that you own a piece of that. And then who knows, even down the road, if you want to vote, they make a governance token within that, and the community votes to sell it, and you get the royalties off selling, or, you own one of these little pixels. I don't know. I might be getting too in depth for people, but does that make sense?
No, that makes perfect sense, dude. That is crazy.
This is something crazy I want to bring up tonight.
Yeah. I mean, this doesn't just stop at, NFT artwork, like high pieces of art. I mean, like I said, music, this can apply to videos. I mean, some of the greatest clips that just come to mind are, when Michael Jordan wins that winning shot in the championship and he jumps up in the air with his arms out, excited. Like that could be turned into some sort of, high piece of art and digitized like this. I'm just trying to think outside of the box.
Yeah.
I mean, it could just be, you could own 1 second of a 30-second clip,
Yep.
How crazy.
So this isn't the first time this is going on in the NFT world. And if you guys are in NFTs, they have fractional NFTs. And actually, my mother-in-law sent me an article the other day about, Constitution DAO. So if you guys haven't heard about this, this was pretty interesting. So within the last 72 hours, they crowdfunded like $30 million in Ethereum. Essentially what they are doing is they actually were buying one of the original pieces, or one of the original US constitutions. So for the first time in 33 years, one of the 13 surviving copies of the official edition of the Constitutional Convention will be publicly auctioned by Sotheby's. It's one of the 2 copies that are still owned by private collectors. The proceeds from the auction will be given to a charity that has been established by the current owner. So basically what we were just talking about, they wanted to take an original piece of the Constitution, put it in a DAO, which you guys know what that is, right?
That's crazy.
The Decentralized Autonomous Organization. It's all community-led. Ownership's dictated by owning it, token NFT. So they wanted to buy that Constitution, break it up into fractions, and you could own legit piece of an original Constitution on the blockchain. So that went up for auction today, and I thought they won, but then all of a sudden they did not. I guess they got outbidded or something happened. But this was the press release by them. They said we did not win the bid for the copy of the U.S. Constitution. This outcome hasn't what we hoped for. We still made history tonight with Constitution DAO, the largest crowdfunded physical object that we are aware of, crypto or fiat. We are so incredibly grateful. Sotheby's has never worked with the DAO community. We broke records for the most money crowdfunded in less than 72 hours. So all these people that donated, I guess there were 17,437 donors that donated about 206.26 in Ethereum, which then I guess they partnered with FTX that was going to convert it to USD and whatnot. So they're all getting their money back. But I just quickly wanted to go over that real quick. I thought that was so interesting. I think this is the next thing within NFTs we're going to start seeing here in the next couple of weeks is these particles and these fractional NFTs of people buying big physical artwork where they're going to start announcing it and you can own a part of that.
It's just like a public trust fund. I'm getting feedback again. It's Crypto Airborne and his crazy browsers going on. There we go.
What? Do you hear it?
Not anymore. I heard you click a button and then it was gone.
All right.
Had to shut down
that's it for NFTs.
the hub.
That's it for NFTs, guys. I just want to go over that real quick. So hopefully you guys found that interesting and that made somewhat sense. But I'll go back and put timestamps in if you guys want to go back and listen to that tomorrow or whatever. But let's jump into VGX TA before we jump on to the next topic. I got 15 minutes left for our hour, actually like about 20 minutes left. So let's jump into some VGX TA.
Yeah, so VGX, man, this was a crazy wild ride the last few days. And man, I can remember the other day making that video. VGX was at $3.07. And I'm like, this thing's going to $4.35. An hour later, this thing ripped up to $4.50. And then it was just like, oh my God. It got listed to Coinbase, or at least connected to Coinbase. So with that said, it's been on a crazy run ever since. Let's really get a good look at this thing on a 12-hour, maybe a daily time frame. Let's look at the daily here. So here's the thing, folks. With Voyager Token, Voyager is trading too far away from the cloud right now. And one of the things I like about Ichimoku cloud trading is that we can kind of see that, okay, we are a great distance away from this cloud. I mean, at this point in time, we are at least 10 days away from this cloud. And a lot of times what we'll see is price action kind of move in like this. And once we get to a certain pinch point or a squeeze point, whether that be a flag pattern or we will see some sort of symmetrical triangle form, we will squeeze the price tag out of VGX and then we'll move to the upside. So I do believe that with this Coinbase listing, that this is just the beginning and that we might actually be seeing beginning stages of Elliott wave theory, and it might look something like this. We just don't know until we know. It's easy once we start to see some retracement from these large pops like this. I do know that once things get listed at Coinbase, the Coinbase effect goes into play, and it's just kind of really hard to gauge where things are going to land with TA because we are dealing with the supernatural power of Coinbase. I don't know if Crypto TA has anything to add to this, but we are still kind of early with this, in my opinion, right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell what's going to happen. My instincts tell me it's probably going to pull back a little bit after that high listing on Coinbase, but I don't think it ends here, you know.
Same. I totally agree with that. 100%.
Yeah, it was a crazy week for me, and Kyle knows, or 6FIG. Excuse that, guys. It was a crazy week, man. Like, I literally felt like I won the lottery. Like, I hold a pretty decent sized bag of VGX. I'll just keep it at that. But that spike when they announced that they were going to be on Coinbase Pro right there, from that low to that high, I was on like an adrenaline rush for like 2 hours. Like it was the crazy. I don't even know how to describe it. Kind of like, I guess it's like winning the lottery. I'll just keep it at that, guys. But it was insane.
So let me describe this for you guys. So I'm sitting here minding my own business, right? I've got a bag of VGX that once I drop this video, I bought in at about $3 a share of VGX. I just set my sell limit at $4. I knew there was an ascending triangle or some sort of squeeze happening. Dropped the video for calling for the $4.35. All of a sudden, Crypto Airborne calls me up. Ah, my God. Blah. And it sounded like I was listening to somebody who just won the Powerball. The last number was drawn. They got the Powerball. It was just such a cool experience for myself just to see such a hardcore supporter of Voyager reap the benefits of holding. And I tell you what, that was a very special moment for you and myself, because it was just cool to see you experience that. And like I was telling you, it was like, I now know what it feels like to witness somebody through the phone winning the lottery.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy. Like
It was.
that literally, I'll probably never forget that. I mean, unless we pump even more crazy stuff. Like that was the fastest, highest increase of my entire portfolio has ever been within a matter of seconds. The amount of, money that increased in my portfolio would blow people's minds. Like, I don't even, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. It was insane. But anyway, yeah, VGX is just all over the place. It's going up and down because, we had the announcement on Coinbase Pro, and then it shot up, and then we kind of went down, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, it's going to be listed today at noon or sometime after. So everyone was waiting at noon, nothing happened, and then around 3 p.m. Eastern Standard, 3:30-ish is when they sent the tweet out, and then it started to skyrocket, and then it started coming down a little bit, and then they sent another tweet out around 6 o'clock-ish, I think, p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's when they announced it was on regular Coinbase, and then it shot up since then. So it's been a roller coaster with VGX token, guys, but ultimately I think the fundamentals are there. We all know where it's going. This is just one small catalyst on the mooning up.
Yeah, this thing's not done yet. I mean, like I was saying, I do think that we are going to see this bull flag or some sort of symmetrical triangle. Usually what we'll do is see like one of these deals, something like this happen. And then once we get to a certain pinch point, price is going to advance up. It's going to squeeze sideways. Just kind of like what we've been seeing with Shiba. And I hate to bring Shiba into the same equation as Voyager Token, because Voyager Token is way more legit than SHIB. But let me just bring up SHIB really quick, not to shill it or anything, but just to kind of show what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's like way down. I should have.
Is it really?
I remember me telling you that I bought that one time and you said to buy, and then it shot up, and I should have cashed out, and I'm still hodling it, and now I'm down.
Oh, Jesus, dude.
And I hate coins. I'm not usually into it, but I did a SHIB purchase a couple weeks ago, and I cashed out at a good time, but I'm hodling now. I don't know.
Okay, well, good luck. So you can kind of see, like, this is kind of representative of what we might be seeing with Voyager Token, in the respect that price action shoots up, makes a bull flag pull, squeezes the life out of the price, and this went on for quite a bit actually, and then moved up. So we might be seeing price squeeze kind of like this, but getting ready to go up. The only thing is, like, I only see Voyager Token really going up from here. Not financial or trading advice, but it's just a solid coin right now. I mean,
we're at what, 416? That's pretty good.
Is that right? Okay. And you said it was even trading on Coinbase at what, $5 a share?
Yeah, when I looked at Coinbase Pro, it got up to $5.10. I think I screenshotted it. It's just different liquidity within the exchange or whatever.
Yeah,
even though like Voyager was showing like 450 or something like that, or not even, like it was like 430. The spread's just crazy.
Yeah, it is for sure. Interestingly enough, though, this ran right up to the golden ratio, the 161.8, kind of like what we like to see. And we can almost argue that, hey, you know what? There might be some sort of squeeze happening here. Who knows? We'll just have to kind of keep our eyes on the trend lines over the next few days. But it'd be awesome to see maybe some sort of ascending triangle or something like that fill out here and then just rip to the upside. That would be awesome. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing hits $5, 537, 650 in the next few weeks, maybe a week or two, depending on how Bitcoin does.
Well, I don't know though. Bitcoin's been performing terrible, and VGX has been killing it the last couple of weeks. So who knows? Anyway, I've got 10:26 p.m. Eastern Standard. I do want to talk about real briefly. It's probably not going to catch anyone's interest, but so I know you, 6Fig, and myself. We've got the HS, the handshake box from Gold Shell. So I went and purchased 3 of these the other day. So this HS box, this is a crypto mining rig, a box, and it has 2 algorithms on it. It can mine the handshake token or coin, whatever it's called, and also see a coin. SC is the acronym or whatever for it. But I got these coming. I did a little research on it. Right now, what are we sitting at? It's about, a penny. Almost 2 cents, down 11%. Market cap's a little under $1 billion. 24-hour trading volume's 242 million. So you got a lot of trading volume on it.
Be right back.
Yep. But this coin was in the top 100 earlier this year. I believe back Sunday, April 18th, we hit. What did it hit? We hit about 5 cents. So this token had, a pretty good run up earlier this year, and then boom, we hit that, the summer when everything started to drop and whatnot. It started to drop and whatnot. So technically, I believe we should hopefully be making a good run up here soon. But I wanted to do a little research on it just to make sure it wasn't like just a no-name coin. And I wanted to diversify my mining because I have 5 CK boxes right now, and I just wanted to get one more because the power supplies that I have can hold 3 each based off the wattage and whatnot. And I looked into one, and then I started to do a little bit more research, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to buy 2 more, buy another power supply, whatever, just to see where this goes. So this is a decentralized storage for the cloud space, which is kind of big with with everything that's going on right now. I think it's important that, we have a decentralized post-cloud. But it gets pretty technical. I'm not going to bore you guys and whatnot. Essentially, it's a decentralized cloud service, and I don't want to get too into depth with it, but you can go to their website. They have the supporting documents. It'll tell you everything, what Siacoin 101 is, what it does, why it's here, who makes it, blah, 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 blah. But anyways, guys, that's something I'm going to be mining here. I could do a whole video on this, but I'm trying to, keep time to an hour here. But you want to jump into the Siacoin TA, and then as you talk about it a little bit, I kind of just briefly ran over it.
Yeah, definitely. And I'll show you guys the numbers that I'm mining here.
There you go.
You want to port me over. But, cloud storage is huge, especially right now. Everything's moving more towards the clouds as offices and businesses get rid of all the paper stuff. I mean, everything's just going to the cloud. So for those of you that are wondering, yes, you can use that HS box to mine Handshake and Siacoin. And Handshake is kind of, I think, in the same business, if I'm not mistaken. But this is just one miner running. We'll look at the hourly rate, and this thing swings like a leaf in the wind. So here are some of my hourly profits. 2, 3, 5, 4. These are really bad profits right now compared to couple days ago or earlier yesterday. You can see this thing was raking in 5-4 coins. It just really depends. And obviously a single miner, you're going to really take a beating. But I hit about almost 100 coins within the last day. So this is kind of fun. I'm not in love with the HS box, but it is kind of fun to mine a different coin other than CKB, which is my baby. And I'm running 6 miners off CKB. I notice my hash rate is down. So the network's not really being used a whole lot right now. But CKB, baby, you know what I'm saying? That's what I love. So back to Saya Coin. Let's pull this up on the charts. It is nice because, if you think about it, if Saya Coin fails for some reason, and maybe let's say Handshake prevails in the long run, at least you can switch over from Saya Coin to Handshake, or you could just switch over every other month. You mine the other coin. So for now, I'm planning on mining Saya Coin for the next month, at least until January 1st. And then I'm going to switch over to Handshake, depending on where things are at, mine that for a couple months and just kind of build up a little bit of a balance on both coins.
Yeah.
So,
and I wanted to get that Kadena, the Kadena miner, the KD box or whatever.
Yeah.
But the Gold Shell site, Marcos, 6FIG, they need to get their crap together. Like every single time they do a release, the Gold Shell site crashes. And it's just like, it's like a rush to try to get your box or your CK box or whatever you're trying to buy on there, because I'll have 3 windows open. I'll refresh the page. You get a 504 error or whatever.
Mm-hmm. It sucks.
It's pretty trash. And it sucks. That's like, they're one of the only manufacturing companies that has those.
Yeah. And the thing about it is too, like, they make a pretty damn good product.
Yeah.
And they have, like Marcos just says, the Gold Shell site is trash. And man, I couldn't agree more with Marcos on that. I've bought, 5 miners off the Gold Shell website. Each experience has been a nightmare. To be honest with you, I paid back in the beginning when I had my first 2 boxes. They were CKB boxes, and I paid $1,000 each for those things on eBay of all places. But the transaction took me 5 minutes to do instead of like an hour and a half. And now they have upped the prices on these boxes from $6.99 to like $8.20, $8.50. The Kadena boxes, I remember when those were $6.99, and then they went to like $8.99, and then they went to $1,200, and then they just skipped to like $3,000.
Yep.
I'm thinking to myself,
there was a comment on their Twitter. Someone's like, they have like a disclaimer or something about like, oh, be safe when it comes to like purchasing your mining rigs and blah blah blah. And I forget the exact terminology, but it's like they were doing it themselves. They kept jacking up the price. What's called price gouging or whatever. Just because the price of the coin goes up, so we're going to raise the price of the miner. It's they're Chinese company.
I mean, for sure. They're Chinese quality. It's just like, I've been running 7 CK boxes now in my basement since September 12th. There's been only one time where I've had a problem. Actually, 2 times. The first time was one of my miners, for whatever reason, went offline. Something happened. I unplugged it, plugged it back in, lost about 4 hours of productivity. No big deal. Second thing was I bought a 220 volt mining power supply unit. That thing was running great, and all of a sudden my house started smelling like electrical fire smoke, and I'm just like, holy shit, my basement is on fire. Well,
wow,
something blew up in the within the power supply unit. And this is possibly my fault because I was running a 220 volt unit on a 120 power supply or power, a regular standard, house voltage. And I know Crypto TA, you could probably attest to this because I know you're in the electrical field.
Yeah.
But I was only running 2 miners on this thing. It wasn't like that big of a deal. I don't know. You can go 220 to 110, right? Just cut everything in half.
Yeah. I mean, the way you're making it sound like you went from 110 out of the wall to 220, but you went from 220 to 110, right? You stepped it down.
Yeah. So I had a 220.
Yeah.
Volt.
It should be fine.
Yeah. And for whatever reason, like I had to take this box apart, snap some pictures of this little transformer or something that had a meltdown. Within a week, I had a new gold shell power supply on my doorstep for free. So
wow.
I was like, okay, this is pretty legit. Some scam. I mean, they're shady, but they remind me, as far as when it comes to making their prices, they are shady as hell. And they are just like Bitmain ant miners, because I know like the Bitcoin ant miners are like, they were like $9,000 a month ago. And then they jumped up to like $11,000 once Bitcoin hit this most recent high.
Wow.
I don't know what price they're at now, but it's like, I get it though. Supply and demand.
Yeah.
I'm looking
want
at
it bad
building
enough.
my own miners.
You're looking at what?
Building my own miners.
You know what? I'd be interested in hearing what you are thinking about that, because that has run across my mind too.
Well, there's like there's the the graphics card method, and then you have these ASIC method, which I haven't researched it enough. I would rather stay with the process like these CK boxes and build those. It can't be impossible. You got to be, these Chinese people are making them. I mean, you've got to be able to find parts, or you could just do the graphics card method from my understanding. And then there's like, you can download the mining software or whatever off of like GitHub. From my understanding, I haven't looked and see if they had Nervos network or anything like that, but it sounds interesting. And I'm definitely looking for options down that route.
Yeah, that's a great point. Like, if I was Gold Shell and the price of Cadena is like the top profitable miner right now, why don't they just build a bunch of them and then just build a little warehouse within wherever they build them and just start mining themselves?
That's what I'm saying.
They probably do that.
They probably do.
Over in China. Heck yeah, they probably do that stuff.
Well, then they just get a bunch of I thought the Chinese Communist Party came down on them about proof of work Bitcoin and kicked them all out. Wasn't there something like that just happened? So they moved it.
Well, the Bitcoin, yeah, but the CKB, don't they still have a partnership with like with the Chinese government or something, like Nervos Network, CKB?
I keep hearing that.
There's a relationship. So the Chinese government has a pretty decent relationship with one of the banks. I think it's called CMB. And they are heavy investors into Nervos networks. So it's kind of more of like an informal relationship to my understanding. And I really haven't talked to anybody at Nervos Network about this at all. And I don't think you would get any solid answer from them anyways. But
probably not.
Yeah, there is definitely some sort of informal relationship, through the Chinese government, through banks to Nervos Network, in a way.
I don't want to cut this conversation off because I guarantee we can have a whole nother conversation live stream about building your own miner, which that's actually a great idea that you just brought to the table.
It's got to be cheaper too. And you could probably build them to pump out more coins for the cost that it makes.
Yeah, let's start a mining manufacturing company. I'm down. I'm looking at that. I got the funds. I just need the researchers.
Should we pool all our money together to buy one and then reverse engineer it like a UFO spaceship in the Army did in the 70s?
Oh gosh, that's crazy. Anyway, let's jump over to the CKB while we're talking about it. TA. I really didn't have much more for SC coin, Zaya coin, or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, just want to let you guys know that I just bought 3 of those HS miners. So we'll see the profitability and whatnot, how they are. You said you're doing one?
About
right now?
100. Yeah, I got one HS box, and really, the way it worked was back in October, Gold Shell threw down this Halloween special BS sale. They were selling a CK box with an HS box, but you couldn't buy a CK box standalone. So I had to spend, instead of spending $700 on a CK box, I had to drop $14.50 on a CK box and an HS box. And I figured, well, this will help. I'll just pretty much mine a couple different coins. It's going to be fun. I thought, well, once this Saya coin or handshake pumps, I'll just sell it off and buy CKB or use this money to pay my electrical bill, which just came for the month of October, and that was $300. So it is what it is. I'm drawing about $125 in electricity a month, which is nothing.
Yeah.
For crypto mining. But getting back to CKB, I mean, CKB is pretty much all of our baby in some way, shape, or form. I know Airborne's into it. I know Crypto TA's into it. Strike, Marcos, all these people in the comments section are into it. And earlier today, I kind of drew up this inside pitchfork, and it really does show a nice direction of CKB, almost to a T. We had a little bit of a fallout here, but we can see how nicely CKB has traded within these channels. And we can see the last time we came up and touched on this channel, we had a very significant price correction. And I'm almost wondering if we might be seeing this price kind of wander on down to this Fibonacci time sequence on December 8th. And this might possibly be a reversal point to the move to the next level, kind of like what we're seeing here. So I'm optimistic. I'm hoping we just reverse off of this little support level, because we were in resistance level territory here, and now we have entered support territory. And obviously, if we cannot hold this support down here, we will enter into a punishing resistance territory and probably get pushed maybe back down to the penny and a half, 0.016. 0.018 levels, my opinion. Perma-bear, man. I hate to say it, but in all reality, when we can kind of see the writing was on the wall, we had some significant Elliott wave theory to the upside, and it looks like we even had possibly an ABC correction or an ABCDE correction occur. So it is what it is. I think everybody was kind of banking on this symmetrical triangle paying off and moving to the upside. But here we had some very similar movements within CKB not too long ago. Earlier this year, we had this run up here. And when we look at the grand scheme of things, we can kind of see this thing dipped, came up, and then ran. We can kind of see the dip that happened here, came up, and it's running. But we also had a significant dip kind of right in here. You can see price just shook out the weak hands, and this was the precise moment that Voyager Token listed CKB, and then it was all uphill from there. So this little time in February was when myself and Crypto Airborne,
I remember that.
Remember that night where we were making some money?
We were the first people in all of TikTok, at least in the United States. Well, I was, to make a video on it, and it got like over 10,000 views or something like that. And then, my TikTok, that's where I started before YouTube. I started making just TikTok videos because I have my main YouTube channel, my personal one. I think you guys can find it on my main page if you want to go check it out. But no, yeah, I used to do YouTube videos and just like a bunch of car stuff and all that. But then the crypto started to blow up earlier this year. I was like, man, I'm really into it, but I never really talked about it. So let me just try this TikTok thing out because I knew it was blowing up. So then, the market started to blow up. I'd put out all those videos on, Nervous Network. It got tons of views, Brave browsers, a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm almost got 3,000 followers on TikTok, and I've slowed down on there, but I still upload videos every now and then. But yeah, CKB was the first, I think, to get listed here in the States was on Voyager, right? I'm pretty sure. And then crypto.com picked it up.
I'm not sure. That's a good question. Yeah, that sounds about right, though. Yeah, I mean, yeah, CKB definitely a beast. I think there's some long-term, qualities with CKB just in the whole interoperability field aspect of it. Got a solid team working for them. I'm hodling, taking the chance.
Yeah, there's some things in the VGX Heroes Discord. People keep asking me about between Starmax and CKB. I'm just like, not financial advice. I'm like, I don't know. I think CKB is definitely a long-term hold. Definitely, they got to up their marketing. But you said they recently hired a new director of marketing or something like that? So hopefully here soon we'll start seeing some more PR around CKB.
Yeah, absolutely. They just hired a new director of marketing for CKB. And you know what? I haven't had a chance to talk to the guy yet, but I'd love to have him on like one of our channels or my channel or what have you to really talk about, what might be coming next, something like that. One other thing, God dang, I'm trying to share this. Oh, could you guys see this at all?
Yep.
Okay, so somebody shared this tonight, and I apologize, I don't remember who it was, but Nervous Network has climbed from a 9 to a 10 in the last day, or something like that. Or no, I'm sorry, we were at 10 here, and now we are at rank 12. But you can see that the most commonly held asset by crypto hedge funds in Q3 is Polkadot, and we can see what company we are within. Nervous Network, Maker, Solana, Avalanche. We are all within that company of assets where these crypto venture funds, are really targeting Nervous Network. So I do think that when you start seeing stuff like this, oh man, like it makes me bullish more than ever. These hedge funds don't go and invest in shit coins like, Cum Rocket and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So to see Nervous Network up in this mix legitimizes it. Yeah.
So let's jump over to Bitcoin. We got about an hour and 15 minutes. I'm trying to, hopefully this is our last TA. I don't want to keep going any farther than what we've already been doing, but we had a question in the comments. Diego said, any speculation as to why we entered this bear market a couple days ago? Definitely not in the bear market. This is just a corrective wave. If you zoom out, in my opinion, I think we're good. When in doubt, zoom out.
Yeah. So back, for the last couple months, I was tracking this rising wedge formation on Bitcoin, and I'm still kind of 50-50 on whether or not this could be true. But I do think that there might have been some extra momentum or manipulation that pushed things above here and here. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, well, we reached those prices, so this might have just straightened things out into more of a channel, something like that. But I do think that the one thing with Bitcoin is this trend line is holding true for now. So we can definitely see that there is some corrective wave happening, and we might see something like this happen. So it wouldn't surprise me over the next few days to possibly see Bitcoin trade down to maybe 52,000. But get this, and this might be within the next week. If that does happen, I do think that there might be a good chance for some Elliott wave theory to the upside for another run, possibly up to maybe the mid to high 70s. And I mean, depending on how this works out, you could even argue maybe 90,000, 100,000.
Yeah. So think back to Plan B. He said the very end of this month, Bitcoin's going to be around $98,000 the end of November. So could you can you manipulate, or not manipulate, but show a bullish scenario where it will hit $98,000 by the end of the month? Like the best TA.
Jesus Christ.
Like straight up.
This is
he's been spot on. Yeah. Like you might get an impulse. Like who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, you get I mean, you know what? You get everybody bum rushing in.
This market's crazy.
Yeah.
It'll happen, yeah.
I mean, we saw it happen right here. I mean, when we start seeing these impulse waves, let's just go ahead and let's have some fun with this, huh? So let's go ahead and, because I know, everybody likes to see things go up. I'm really digging this little series of impulse waves here. So when we start looking at this, I mean, hey, it's possible by the end of November. I mean, unless we're going to see some wicked ass blow off top, I mean, 125,000 would be possible, but I'm not going to bet anything on this. This just doesn't seem legitimate to me.
This thing could run, up until April, March of next year,
Agreed.
This could be nothing where we're at right now.
Agreed.
Yeah, and then I have Plan B pulled up right now. He said, to clarify, 98,000 November prediction is not based on stock to flow model, but on my floor model. As I said before, I use 3 models: stock to flow, floor model, on-chain model. If, for example, 98,000 November floor model prediction fails, that does not mean stock to flow or on-chain fails.
And who is this predicting all this stuff?
This is Plan B. You got to do some research, man. He's huge in the Bitcoin.
Sounds like the birth control medication.
Obviously, yeah.
He's pretty legit. I follow him now.
He is probably, his model of stock to flow has been the most accurate since the beginning of Bitcoin. Sure. But he's got 3 models, and I'm pretty familiar with the stock to flow, but I'm not really.
It's all based on like halving and all that. The actual blockchain and coins and circulating supply. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. It's not like a indicator that's calculated based on price.
For sure. So, I find this kind of interesting though, because I'm kind of noticing the same angle of trend lines here, possibly to these highs. You can kind of see how this 41-degree angle is playing out in both of these. So, I mean, hey, if this plays out, and a lot of times we'll see price action move at around a 45-degree angle, 40-degree angle. So, I mean, hey, a $98,000 Bitcoin, I'll say by January 12th, could be entirely possible.
Yeah. And then that's the other thing. Now that we're getting towards the end of the year and everyone's like, oh, the end of the bull run, start taking profits around, mid-December, late November. Now I'm starting to hear, because that's all I do is YouTube and research, is that people are thinking that this might go out till May of 2022, potentially.
It's interesting that you say that, because I don't have any examples to show this, but I'm sure that if I kind of wrote some notes down, I could provide them to you within the next few days. I have kind of seen, just by doing like Fibonacci time sequence on some of these coins, that I've been, because I like to look at, like what time sequence 8 and stuff like that is. And I've been noticing that there's been a lot of time sequence at the end of February, March, April, and May. So there's something there for sure.
Yeah, so I follow Eric Crown. If you guys ever heard of him on YouTube, is Crown's Crypto Cave. His TA has been pretty spot on. I don't know if you guys ever heard about him. You ever heard of Eric Crown? like lives overseas, but he's American. But his TA, he partners with Elio Trades, and he's another big YouTuber that's into like NFTs and stuff. So like they go back and forth and they do videos, and he puts out a lot of his price predictions. And his TA was, I think I mentioned this to you, 6Fig, is the Bollinger Bands. Mm-hmm. Can you do like a macro? Are you familiar or crypto TA about the Bollinger Bands within the Bitcoin macro perspective? Because he said that like if you can draw that up, it literally looks like we're going out to like April, May, if Bitcoin history repeats itself. The Bollinger Bands, or whatever the heck that means.
I used to trade Bollinger Bands.
Yeah, me too. Well,
and it's, I don't know. For me, it's just kind of like one of those things where, I don't know, you can just, people use it to see when stuff's squeezing. I can just tell by looking at price action when things are squeezing, so I don't need to have it on my chart. Let me see if I can find a more friendly Bollinger Band. It's legit for sure, but I don't use it.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for joining. You got 24 people watching right now. Smash that thumbs up. Subscribe if you aren't subscribed. Go follow Crypto TA, 6FIGSTOCKTRADER. We do this every Thursday night. We try to alternate. I mean, Crypto TA, we're trying to get onto your channel sometime.
Yeah.
Do a live. Not putting you on the spot or anything, but we just have fun. We just talk about all things crypto, technical analysis, NFTs, mining. If you guys have any other suggestions, just feel free to hit us up on Twitter and let us know. We'd be more than happy to cover anything that you guys, are interested in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. We got to get on Crypto TA's YouTube channel here. Marco says Plan B at Walgreens is $44. That's awesome.
You would know.
The dude's a player for sure.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so, I mean, like right now, we're looking at Bitcoin Bollinger Bands, and the way Bollinger Bands work is when you see these bands widen up, usually you'll see some sort of run or some momentum happening, and then they will squeeze in tight, and you can see the squeeze happening, and that's when you know when price is about to break. So you see these Bollinger Bands kind of squeezing here, and unfortunately, this was a squeeze. You can kind of see the symmetrical triangle that formed here produce this squeeze to the downside. But you can eliminate these Bollinger Bands from your charts by just learning patterns, in my opinion. And that's exactly what I did, because I used to trade Bollinger Bands way back in the day on Yahoo Finance. They have actually some halfway decent Bollinger Bands. And, while I'd be sitting at work, guess what I'd be doing? I'd be trading, because there was no restrictions on the internet. And I'd be sitting on Yahoo Finance in some, crappy trading app, making my trades throughout the day on a 15-minute chart.
Now that I look at it, I don't think it was Bollinger Band. It was a different, it was like a whole, I can't find, I'm scrolling all through his Twitter right now. I can't find it. I don't know the indicator. I'm not a TA expert like you guys, but I'll figure it out and I'll get back to you guys. But it was like a big macro perspective. It had it was like the Andrew's pitchfork thing, whatever that thing's called.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a massive, like if you zoomed all the way out back to 2010, it was a ribbon. It was like, you know what I mean? It was like something like it was a pitchfork of all of Bitcoin's history, and it literally.
Yeah, so there may have been some sort of shift pitchfork. If we went to a regular pitchfork, that would just produce too much of a vertical climb. But it wouldn't surprise me if it was a shift pitchfork. And let's just draw this up. I'm afraid to use this candle here. This looks like a scam candle, but we'll draw from the bottom of this candle up to this high and then down to this low. And I mean, you can kind of see where Bitcoin has played around in this level. And, obviously we are trading outside of this pitchfork now. But
what you should pull up the BLX
BLX, is it an indicator?
No. The ticker symbol that'll give you all of the data for Bitcoin. We've pulled this up before. Yeah, the Brave.
Is this
coin.
the right one?
No, at the top. Brave new coin.
This one?
Yeah, this one.
Oh, interesting. Wow. This is really 8 cents. My goodness. You know what? I like the looks of this for sure. Thank you for that. So anybody in here have a good suggestion on where we should maybe draw this? Maybe from here to here. Well, I don't know.
Wherever do you know where they started Crypto Airborne? Was it off the bottom?
Bitcoin started?
No.
Yeah, it was the very beginning of the chart. I'm trying to find it. Maybe it was Tech Dev.
I bet you it was. Well, that doesn't even look right.
Yeah. It's gonna bother the crap out of me until I figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, we could run a little Fibonacci channel off this, and even this. I mean, this appears to be maybe some sort of.
Maybe something like that.
Yeah.
We're definitely not prepared for this one. This is a pretty big one.
What about the comparison of the 4-hour time frame for Bitcoin from 2017 versus 2021?
The 4-hour time frame?
Yeah.
That's gonna.
Pretty confident that the bottom's in. It'll be in very soon for Bitcoin. This is the #1 trending thing on Tech Dev's thing, and
So for Bitcoin, here's something that we could look at. I'm just going to go with this regression trend, and you could kind of see where the argument could be made that the bottom is in here. If you go check this out, so basically, I just threw up a regression trend line here, and you can see that this full body candle, the full bodiness kind of stops right at around this level. I've been talking about in my live stream I did earlier and in maybe several videos that I've done in the last few days, where if we do not bounce off this cloud on the daily chart for Bitcoin, it's going to get nasty. 100%, no questions about that. We can kind of see right here, it almost got nasty. And if we don't bounce right now, I mean, we're definitely possibly heading down to test this 200 moving average right around this $53,000 level. I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah,
I don't know what Crypto TA has to say about that, but
I'm reading this guy's thing as you're talking this, and he said that he has 3 important fib levels noted: the 0.786, the 1.272, and the 2 fib. They were all acting as important support and resistance levels from the two.
I'm assuming he measured from here to, well, yeah, man.
Said once we lost the 1.272 support in 2017, we saw a quick wick all the way down to the 2 fib. Will we see something similar this year? What I'm also looking at is for a breakout above the resistance trend line in the RSI.
Yeah, it's tough to look. I would need to see an example on his charts to really know where he's measuring from, things like that.
And then he said, finally, to have a confirmation that the bottom is in, we would need to see a bullish divergence as drawn in 2021 chart. It's also impossible that the bottom won't be at the 2 fib and that we actually just bottomed now, $56,600. We just need to see bullish divergence.
Sure.
It seemed like he was really zoomed in.
So do you think he might have been...
He was looking
if he's measuring off this low to this high.
He was looking at just like that little sharp decline here where there's 4 bars that look the same. That's what it looked like when Airborne pulled up the screenshot.
Okay. So he's within this little...
Yeah, it looked like he had a falling wedge drawn right there. At least, I don't know. Maybe you can bring that back up.
And I could totally see that, but to me, that's kind of like, okay, this is like a 5-minute chart.
That's a different...
So here's 2017 and 2021. This is what he posted. He said, here's his take since the daily, since June. Some differences, nothing to suggest. expecting to fake out below the 50 SMA and close above tomorrow. Everyone's expecting 53K, but he's still leaning against it. Relax. Does that make sense to you guys? 2017 to 2021.
Yeah. I mean, I can see the pattern there.
Yeah, there's definitely lows getting higher.
But, you know, in this market nowadays, the rugs get ripped out from under everyone.
That's because crypto TA's taking profits.
I wish I had that much money.
But like, look at things like this. What do you guys think about this?
You know, I kind of see a little bit of an ascending triangle in that 2021 category. I don't know. It's just kind of, you know, when people start drawing up stuff like this, you know, it's tough for me to really analyze it a whole lot just because I don't know the methods that they took to get to some of this stuff.
Yeah. I'm just curious because that's why I like to counter all your TA because you think you're right, but that's just me and my personality, and that's why we make a good duo. Because you say that, and I'm gonna find something to counter you. You know what I mean?
I'm seeing the patterns in all this stuff.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely clear, and it's definitely, you know, let's just say we take the logarithmic off. I mean, there's a whole lot of differences in the charts. Yeah, so I mean, it'd be nice to understand exactly,
Yeah.
you know, what that guy's bigger picture is. But
all right, guys. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this. I'm gonna end this here. If you guys don't already follow Crypto TA, go follow him at Crypto TA11 on Twitter, and then YouTube is I don't want to. Is it the
Crypto TA dash or Crypto dash TA? That's my channel right there. Yeah.
Yeah, just go to his page and you can click on it and you can subscribe to him. Also, don't forget 6Fig, which I guess I deleted. Hold on. 67 Fig. 6Fig Stock Trader. Go follow him if you don't.
Did I hit 9,000 subs yet?
Nah, you only got 1,400.
No, I'm talking about on YouTube.
Oh,
I was really close before this. I think I was like at 8,999.
Nice. But yeah, guys, really appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight. Really appreciate it. Follow me. I'm sure you guys probably already are all following me if you're watching this live stream. Really appreciate it. But share to your friends. You know, we're all about having a good time and making people rich and just giving our perspective and opinions on just how we think about the market and cryptocurrency and whatnot. Not financial advice. We always say that. But we're just here to have a good time. So hopefully you guys enjoyed everything tonight. Go follow me or subscribe to me. Got 874 subscribers. Hopefully you guys, you know, subscribe. Really appreciate it. And then last, like I said earlier, TikTok is where I started all my crypto TA stuff, or not crypto, but crypto and whatnot. So go follow me there. I'm almost at 3,000 followers, 500 more to go. But I do videos every now and then. That's all I got. You guys got any final words?
I'm at 9,001 subscribers. So I'm happy about that. Thank you guys.
Cool.
But no, it's been a great time. I always love coming on your channel. Love coming on with Crypto TA. It's always good to see you guys and talk to you guys. I know everybody's so busy in the day-to-day. It's just kind of nice to wind down, turn the phones off, and talk crypto. Great audience. Thank you guys for being here as well, supporting.
For sure. Crypto TA, you got any last thoughts?
No, I appreciate you having me on, talking in the background.
When are we going to get on your channel, Crypto TA? Next week?
I don't know.
Next week?
Pondering. I don't know if I understand the whole live stream stuff yet. I was thinking about that today. Like, is that the thing? Live stream?
Just go.
Yep.
Do it. Who cares? If one person's watching, if 100,000 people are watching, I don't give a crap.
We had some good people in here tonight.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, appreciate you guys watching. Smash that thumbs up. Subscribe if you aren't subscribed. Turn on bell notifications. Crypto Airborne out. Have a great night. He always does that.